Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. In this video we're going through the chaos, catastrophe and everything in between that is my Supercoach side, and I somehow, even with two guys that are going to be out next week, finished up with a score of 2395, which ended up me going up ranks. I was somewhere in the overall ranks now of like 18,000 flat, and I want to say I had a round rank, just looking here, 18,046 for a season rank and a round rank of 17,117. So anyway, let's just jump into the chaos that was this video. Yes, coming out a little bit late, but you'll see I'll also include my trade for it, which will mean that my Supercoach team, I might not even do any sort of uploading of it. I may replace Supercoach with just straight up AFLW sort of fantasy as we get close to that and sort of looking more in depth of that. But here we go. So Wanganeen Malira, same as what we said in the fantasy video, tagged in the first half by the likes of James Jordan, and he got to, I want to say, about 50 or so at halftime, maybe 45. He was doing pretty well. And then Callum Mills goes on to him because, of course, I have both of them. And he goes and he restricts him to, I want to say, something like 8 touches. So, yeah, it wasn't a good one. I can actually bring up what he scored in this through footy scores. And we can bring up what he scored in the second half from this one here. Let's just go and we go here. And we go and we look at, it would be Supercoach, second half here. We probably can go down this end and we see that he ended up in the second half with 7 and 26. So 33-point second half after a 53-point first half. Just sort of shows the luck there. And actually, if we just do it quickly here, looking at Callum Mills, he had a 12-point second half trying to tag him. 12-point second half. Great. Thanks. Great, Sydney. But luckily, Callum Mills has an easier matchup next week. So hopefully he rebounds. Dane Zorko, 107. Huge. Absolutely mega score. Well, I mean, it's a 107, but in the back line now with Rosie that some people have who's out, and he scored a 50 odd. Callum Mills, of course, we have him 55. Zorko's, Zorko's score of 107 looks better against Wanganeen Malira's score. Tom McCarthy also didn't score well. I don't think there was many that scored well other than obviously the Josh Jacobs freak game that happened. Whitfield 105, take it. Sheezel 123, he was mega. If we actually look at the Shees, and the problem is for Sheezel that, there's no one else to tag for North Melbourne. So he pretty much is destined to get tagged. But if we look at his third and second quarter, he scored 85 points in Supercoach, and that was very replicated in fantasy with a 76. So that's where he scored all his points, and that's why he ended up on a 1-2-3. Sinclair 106, pretty sure he was running pretty well the whole game. I think he just scored pretty evenly if my memory serves me correct. Sinclair 46 18 22 20, so he scored a bit more in the first half, scoring 104 out of his 64 out of his 106 points, but still scored relatively well across the quarters. 18 as a low isn't the worst quarter, I would say. Then we get back to this here and you see McCarthy 87, he's just going to be a guy that I feel like I'm going to have to field throughout the rest of this year. Then we get to here. Butters 154, knew that was going to happen, especially after Rosie got subbed out, and we also had, Horne-Francis now out for the season. But yeah, Rosie out, left him basically on the field. He had to play against them, and he was really influential in the last quarter, if my memory serves me correctly. If we just go to here, and I'm pretty sure huge first, and then a decent last quarter, as well as Horne-Francis, who just decided to play 3 quarters, which we'll get to. But yeah, his first quarter was huge. He had 71 points in the first on 46 fantasies, so that was a huge effort there. I think he was running at 100% disposal efficiency for quite a while. Ended up on the 76%. But yeah, he was huge. 38 touches, 6 marks, and also 7 clearances. Where are the tackles? Only 2 tackles there, so he probably could have had more as well, which is a little bit surprising. 4 free kicks definitely does help. Nick Dacos, 85. There are some worries about him, but we just got to hope in hell that he plays. But yeah, 85, not the best. Bontempelli burned 20 points there. The one thing that probably saved my round is these 150 odds. That definitely helped. helped out the cause there. But yeah, that was a pretty poor round for me. And I'm just thinking about now, just like, with my last trade, do I trade Cherry or do I trade Jason Horne-Francis? I'm really happy a couple of weeks ago that I didn't trade Doherty, because that would have caused chaos, being 2 guys out for the round, etc. I would have still been able to get the guys on, because I would have just been able to put Horne-Francis into the midfield, etc., and get Zach Johnson or Liddy on, etc. for him. But yeah, just thinking about it now. But yeah, Doherty 65, not good. Sarong and Merritt 96, 95. Yeah, not the greatest either. And then Bailey Smith 73. He just butchered the ball. Max Gorn 112. He won the matchup there, and he's pretty much, with Cherry getting suspended late in the game, pretty much ruled out Cherry from All-Australian, I would say. It's going to be very hard for him to get All-Australian, especially with Grundy having that easy matchup against North Melbourne, ruckless, well, I should say, Cherry-less ruck. So pretty much ruled himself out of All-Australian, I would say now. Gorn looks the front runner, but that can obviously change because Grundy is coming up against easy matchups where he could have a 60 hit out game, to be honest with you, on the weekend. But yeah, so I would, if I could, get to Grundy, but I just can't with Cherry, so I'm going to have to think of something else, another solution there. But also, it's probably going to be Jason Horne-Francis, which is a full 50k guy that I got to field. So yeah, it isn't looking the greatest there, because Horne-Francis is 438k. If he was 490k, a lot easier, but he isn't. So yeah, there's that. And yeah, Cherry 57 are not the greatest. McRae 108, Petrarca 84, Kennedy 23. Yeah, Kennedy just got stuck at half forward for the whole game, pretty much, in most of the second half, which was a classic Bevo. Caleb Daniel 102, Darcy 79, and Horne-Francis 131, but he's out injured for the rest of the year. And then Callum Mills 55. So thinking about it, you would think I should, in essence, decide to trade Horne-Francis because he's the one out for the whole year. But I'm just wondering if the best option is actually to trade a Tristan Cherry or something like that. I know he does come back out, but if we just look at this and we go quickly out, let me make this a little bit smaller for you guys there. Players I can afford here. And then we just go to 3-round average or something. Is there anyone that I like? Potentially, let's just go to coach's choice or something. Is there anyone that people are trading in this week that could potentially work? Is there anyone? Maybe Jeremy Cameron's probably my best bet, to be honest with you, and just hoping he can turn out or something in that regard. He put up a 43 against GWS, has St Kilda, North Melbourne, Port Adelaide, Essendon, Sydney, and Richmond. He could honestly score pretty well. Geelong are in somewhat of a fight to get into that top 4, I would say, and top 2. If we look at them, they are a win and a bit behind, so they're probably going to have to play him. He does have that North Melbourne matchup coming up in the future, so you just got to hope that he could score pretty well. And he's leading the Coleman as well, so he probably wants to hold on to that. Is there anyone else that I could see myself potentially? Aaron Cadman's on a hot run at the moment. He's scored pretty well the last couple games, you would have thought. Didn't he kick like 5 back-to-back weeks or something, or am I missing something? Oh, his 5 came a couple weeks earlier. So he's probably a guy that you could potentially look at against Essendon. Sydney next week, that could be interesting. What did he go last time against Sydney? 78. We don't seem to have a way to stop him. So yeah, it could be Cadman or something of that regard. If I put Bailey Smith into the forward line, does it make it any easier? Doesn't really look like there's many guys, to be honest with you, that I can select that would be of a decent pedigree, I would say. Is there anyone in the back line that I can go for? Doesn't really look like it. Daniel Rioli somehow was in that price range, but I don't think he's put up any decent scores, I would say. He's kind of done some things. So could go Daniel Rioli. He's had a couple of 50 odds, etc., but I don't really know. That'll be probably something that I put up on a poll on Twitter or something of that regard, just to see who to go for, because I really got no ideas. And this is why I'm sort of, and we'll refresh this. This is why I'm sort of like, do I just play and get rid of a Tristan Cherry here, get to the 23rd guy on field for 3 weeks, and then for the last 3, you're playing like a Zach Johnson, etc., or a Liddy, or a Carroll, etc., and you're just trying to loop through those guys instead. and then I can get to like a Darcy Cameron or something of that regard, or a Lloyd Meek, etc. Is that the way to go? I'll leave it up to you guys. I'll probably just post on Twitter what my final sort of decision is. I'll talk to some people about it, etc. But anyway, that is the video there going through my Supercoach round review. If you guys enjoyed it, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and I will see you guys back here later for my AFL Fantasy Trade Targets video. Bye, guys.